Yay!
We're back! We're back together again! Oh, replaying it. Is that really?
Sorry,
is that really necessary?
Just block your screen
no,
out with
you
that
have
as
said
well.
you have said we need to have the soundboard a bit more available, don't we? Hello, guys! I'm back. Yes, I'm back. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you guys had fun last week with Graham Hughes here. You two look like you two had lots of fun last week. Obviously, didn't miss
He
me.
went on a long time. A long time.
Yeah, you guys went
normal.
it was a very long Snowflake show you guys had last week.
Yeah.
But we are in season 2, episode 20 of the Snowflake Show, guys. I'm your co-host Regan Elite, alongside.
I'm Lee Khan.
Yes, you are Lee Khan. You are Lee Khan.
Khan.
And over the next hour, guys, we're going to give you the latest news, views, and share one or two funny and good news stories, such as something about a flying sofa.
We'll see. I don't know if I'm flying furniture.
I can assure you that no one had died or no one was injured when we get to that story. So don't worry. But it is quite crazy. Yes, video. There is a video of it. So yes, you will see that later. Lee, how have you been, my friend? It's been a while since we've been together.
It is, yeah. We had Graham here obviously last week. That was good. Like I say, long show, hour and 3/4. But yeah, just ticking over. Not much happening in the world of politics or anything, or news. Quiet as usual.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, I did discuss on a live stream the day after last week's show, where I've been, what's been going on. I mean, it's pretty much out there anyway. If you guys didn't know, I was at a family funeral. So that's where I was, in case you guys were wondering. I could have come back in time for the show, but I wouldn't have been in the right frame of mind, to be fair, guys. So in case, so it was right that someone covered for me, and I decided to switch off completely that day. But you know, that's life. So it's all right, guys. Don't need any sympathy or anything like that. It's all good. It's all good. So don't worry. But we've got quite a few people in the chat, Lee. I think we should say hello to them.
Yeah, it's time to say hello. Sorry, I just saw my lights out because it's going darker now outside, and natural light.
Okay. Do you want me to say hello while you fiddle
No,
with the
it's
lights,
fine,
then?
sorted. So we got Lefty Voters here, Evening Snowflakes. Larry the Cat's here. Kelly's here. Hi, Kelly. Good evening, everyone. Chris Fisher's here. Number 3 says Jello. Jello to you, number 3. So Larry the Cat, only if it's flying towards Johnson's head. I take it that's just the sofa.
I can confirm it did not fly towards Johnson's head.
No. Although he was in Turkey and he is Turkish descent, so. Chris Fisher. PJ Day, my girls call it. Okay. Pedulous is here. Good evening, all. Bonsoir, tous. Bonsoir, Pedulous.
Bonsoir, Pedulous. Thanks for moderating, of course. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Cheers, Pedulous. Ginger's Giraffe's here. Hey, all. Hi, Gingers. Daily Barzet's here. Hi, Darren. Good evening, all. Hope everyone has enjoyed the warm current bun today. Yes, it's been very nice.
He's had a busy week here with all the content that is coming his way.
Ben Shaw's here. Good evening, everyone. Hope all good. Nico the Smith. Hi, all. Hi, Nico. Juvengeance. Snowflakes arise. Knights of the Blizzard.
He's always got one of those funny ones. I do love them, Duke. Absolutely love them every time you do them. Brilliant.
Kendra's here. Hi, Kenzie. Hello, everyone.
Hi. Good to see you, Kendra.
Chatty Rat's here. Oh, I suddenly jumped up then. Chatty Rat's here. Tim
Lefty Boater.
Ballen says R.I.P. Tina. Yeah, just the news that Tina Turner's passed away.
Yep.
Number 3, blah, blah, blah. I'm just making sure we missed him. Casper Northers is here. Hi, Casper. I think that's it. That's everybody. All in. We should have a register.
Casper, yep, Chatty Rat. Number 3, yep. Tim, good to see all you guys. Hope you're all well. We've got quite a lot to get through today. Got quite a few notes, and obviously we've got to be fair, it's just a quiet week as always, isn't it, Lee?
Yeah, usual quiet week. Yeah, nothing much happening. Should we go into it then?
We'll go into it. Just quick, actually, just before we do, I covered it on my Monday live stream with Snowflake's Viewpoint, which you guys can check out. But I'll just highlight it here. So in the description, guys, our good friend AllShorts.
Oh yeah.
He got a strike on his channel, so he's not going to be able to post videos until next Monday, I believe. So in the description of the show, guys, is down at the bottom. There's his Patreon's, PayPal, Buy Me Coffee, and his other two YouTube channels. His Woodwork and what's it called? Earth Trifle. Yeah, he does some videos on there today. If you guys can check out those videos and give him some love, any way, shape, or form, be greatly appreciated.
The great channels as well. Like Earth Trifle's like sort of ecological channel, and Wally Bois, isn't it? His other one. He's done 3 videos on there today. So yeah, check them out, guys. Give him some love and support if you guys can. Be much appreciated. And also down in the description is my channel, which I'll plug later if you guys haven't checked out my content on there. But we'll go straight into the news. Just before we do, we've got a couple more people joined. Alexis is here. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Alexis.
And Jeremy Goff here. Hi, both.
Hi, Jeremy.
Have a big up for the mighty port back later. I'm not sure which port he means.
Port or pork?
Port, not pork. We're not doing pork markets.
Maybe he's at the pork market.
Could be at the pork market, yeah. Right, let's go.
Could be. Let's go.
News. Here we go. So we're doing it a bit differently.
Here
We're
we
going
go.
to show the headlines from now, just this week, see how it goes. But it allows us to.
Yeah. So Lee has. So we've adjusted the notes. So Lee has got the links there if we want to look at it even more. So
more detail, yeah.
So the first one from Sky News is BT had to slash the workforce by up to 55,000 before 2030, with AI replacing 10,000 of those jobs. Thanks, Chat GGP.
Yeah.
Skynet taking over. The funeral for Queen Elizabeth II mounting cost government of £162 million.
Nice.
That'd be nice if we had that money back, but I don't think it's going to happen, guys. Open Democracy has here new eviction laws could stop homeless people getting help, a charity warns. That's pretty scary. I mean, it's already bad enough right now, this cost of living crisis, but
yeah, government ignored the warnings that abolishing Section 21 no-fault evictions could leave people ineligible for support.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting. The story, that one. This one from The Independent. Inquiry into major UK maternity scandal slams the NHS for its failure to consult Black and Asian families. Investigations into the death of babies at NHS Trust, triggered by reports in The Independent, has involved 250 white families, but only 20 from ethnic minorities. So it looks to be some discrimination within the National Healthcare Service. This one I actually covered in a video. If you guys want to see more on that, you could check that out on my channel. Mental health hospitals are making children worse, a leading charity warns. It's a damning report finding young patients exposed to abuse, neglect, and unsafe care. Not a nice story, but one that needs to be talked about. This one I also covered in a news story. It's kind of which you can check out, as I only uploaded it a few days ago. Paralysed Swedish woman in London cannot return home due to bureaucracy. It's both the bureaucracy is both the UK and Sweden on this, so it's not just from the British side. This one, it's just as much Sweden at fault as well. And yes, Brexit does play a factor in this story. But if you want more details, I've done a video on it. But yeah, it's an absolutely terrible ordeal for this woman. From the BBC, Labour vows to cut heart cancer and suicide deaths. Let's hope so. Anything that will reduce that stuff would be good. So Sky News, significant easing of the inflation as energy costs stabilise. The latest ONS figures shows. While there's some relief in the headline rates for the pace of price growth, the squeeze on household spending power will remain throughout 2023 and likely beyond. From Sky News there. Also from Sky News, I think this actually dropped today. Actually, MP Neil Coyle has the Labour whip restored following suspension for harassing assistants and racially abusing a journalist. I think it's today. I think that one was.
How is that? How is it? You know, I don't know. Well, why are Labour bringing him back?
Did you just scroll down? Was it actually today? Because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was today. Wednesday today.
Yeah, it was today. Yeah.
There he is, the racist bully.
Yeah. So they said, well, I haven't actually had a chance to read it. There must be a spokesman somewhere. Spokesman on this says the reasoning.
They decided to restore the Labour whip due to sobriety and length of the suspension served. I think it must have been from like a year, last February, so over a year. Labour source of Chief Whip Alan Campbell explained to Mr. Cole that drinking does not in any way excuse his behaviour, but the party recognises the efforts he's made to change his conduct. Also, he was claiming that he was drunk when he did it, so...
yeah. Okay.
Oh no, it's 2 months, just 2 months after the expert. So he's only been suspended for a couple of months. Yeah. Not too happy about that, I must admit.
I have to wait and see on that one.
Right. Anyway, next one.
Hello, AllShorts. Good to see you in the chat.
Hi, Marcus.
Guys, as we said, the links to his channels and all his stuff is in the description. If you guys can do that, we'd be greatly appreciated. Good to see you, AllShorts. Hopefully, we'll catch you in the after chat as well. NHS patients in England has been asked to use the NHS app to book private hospitals. So I don't know if they've updated the app yet, but the plan is obviously there'll be the option on the NHS app to use private healthcare, basically. No Justice did a great video highlighting way back when Jeremy Corbyn warned about this kind of stuff happening, which is a really good video from her highlighting this. It's just it's more pushing people towards privatization, pretty much.
Okay.
How many is that? It?
That was it. That's all of them. We
originally
said we
for
thought
some
there were 19.
reason I thought there was like a couple more still. Maybe I'm going mad today, guys.
We duplicated the loads, so it looked like there was loads at first, but then we broke it down as.
Yeah, and if you're hearing bird noise in the background, that's Lee Khan with his window wide open because it is quite warm.
It's getting a bit chillier now, but
yeah, that is real birds. That's not Twitter or a soundboard that he's playing with, believe it or not.
Yeah, if there's a plane or a train going past police cars, that's just par for the course. So.
Do we honestly believe that Labour is the answer? What a feckless, fecking mess, says Kelly. Yeah, I know, but you've got a choice between what we have now and them.
They can't be any worse than. I mean, Pedro says, Kelly, I seriously believe that Labour will not be any worse. Not be worse in any way, shape or form, and most likely a tad bit better in a couple of areas. And hopefully choose PR to give smaller parties a chance. Yeah, I think, whatever you think of Tony Blair, the country was a lot better off. The NHS was a lot better state. And there are issues with the way they dealt with it. The education was a lot better. There's all sorts of things that are better under Sure Start and all those things. But 13 years of Tory austerity and just complete incompetence.
We're stuck in a cycle system where you have to choose between Conservative and Labour.
Yeah, we haven't got a choice at the moment.
Right now, we need a change. We definitely need a change. Okay, it's not what we wanted. I'd rather have the Green Party in power personally, but we can't choose that. We don't have proportional representation, so
yeah.
But we'll see. But
Tom Nelson says power corrupts.
Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Love the birds, says Nico. Yeah.
Private medicine is expensive, says Gingers. Yes, it is. I know in America it's like double the price as well.
Oh God, yeah. I feel sorry for you guys out there. I really do. Shall we jump into the first story then?
Yeah, the first article.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the turd that just won't flush, guys.
Like a rip on the wall here.
Yeah. From the Guardian, guys, it's Boris Johnson cuts ties with government lawyers assisting him in the COVID inquiry. The ally says the former PM has lost faith in the system after he was reported to police over fresh Partygate allegations.
Boris Johnson lost faith in the systems. Oh no.
Yeah, I know. God dear, what's ever gonna happen? So Boris Johnson has severed ties with the government lawyers supporting him during the COVID inquiry, with allies saying that he had lost faith in the system after he was reported to the police over fresh Partygate allegations. The former Prime Minister said he was currently unrepresented and in the process of instructing new solicitors. While Johnson is confident taxpayers will continue picking up the bill for his new legal team, he admitted in a letter to the COVID inquiry published on Monday that the Cabinet Office had yet to agree funding and other practical arrangements. I have no control over the timing of that process, he added. Johnson's decision to stop relying on support from the government's legal department shows further erosion of relations between him and Whitehall. His allies have criticised the Cabinet Office for passing his pandemic diaries for 2 police officers over concerns about more potential rule breaking during COVID. The documents outlining visits by friends to Chequers between June 2020 and May 2021 were provided by Johnson to his government-appointed lawyers, but because the client was the Cabinet Office, it also received them. Officials then decided that under the Civil Service Code, they should refer the matter to the police. Further documents are being requested by the COVID inquiry, including WhatsApp messages and 24 notebooks. The inquiry's chair, Lady Heifer Hallier, dismissed an attempt by the Cabinet Office to block having to hand over everything in full. Oh dear, what a shame if everything got handed over.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Johnson had sought to head off publication of a letter by the inquiry team, which confirmed Hallett's decision. He asked them, wait 48 hours for me to obtain legal representation and receive legal advice on your ruling, or publish this letter to put his concerns on the record. The inquiry officials decided on the latter. In his plea to delay publication, Johnson said, I'm currently instructing new solicitors to represent me in the inquiry. That process is well underway, but is in the hands of the Cabinet Office to agree funding and other practical arrangements. I have no control over the timing of the process. Johnson was said to have lost confidence in the objectivity of the Cabinet Office and its leadership, both ministerial and official, and some believe Conservative MPs feel the same way. His allies believe he is in line with long-standing practice for him to carry on receiving public money to pay for his new legal team. A spokesperson for Johnson said, we continue to cooperate fully with the public inquiry.
So maybe I missed that. Is he still going to get legal?
Oh, I haven't got the longer one. You've got a longer one.
No, it's not. It's just got loads of the Guardian stuff underneath.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, is he getting legal advice? Is he getting more free legal?
I think he's getting a new legal team, and we're paying for it, Lee. I think that's
okay.
As if, yeah, I'm just like what the F, you know?
Yeah.
It's just absolutely infuriating, to say the least. It's so infuriating that this guy just cannot accept the fact that, you know, that he broke the law and he's gotten away with it. And it's just so infuriating. And I'm sure you guys in the chat feel the same way. It's just absolutely news to me that Bojo needs someone to speak to him. Well, we have to pay that person to speak for him, Tom, for some reason, which is absolutely insane.
I'm trying to sort my light out.
Hello,
Sorry,
Verti.
ignore me.
You're right, Verti. Good to see you there. Yeah, people hold no power. The money hold the power, or more so, the people who have the money. Yeah, but he's using our taxpayer money, Chris. That's the problem. You cannot have capitalism and say it is a democracy. Party boy Johnson, this numpty should be paying for his own legal bills. Just where did the 3.8 million and his moated mansion come from? Says Sir Larry. Yep. Media should start reporting about the Forte report, then we would get a real change, says Ben Shaw. Power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. Yeah, you said that. Sophie, I said that already. Yeah. He's getting away with it, Lee, isn't he?
Well, there's still the Commons Committee report still got to come out, hasn't it? So we'll find out what's being said in that.
Yeah, it's just so infuriating. Don't really know what more to add, but I just wish we could just flush this turd down the toilet and be done with it, but we just can't, guys. Which is so frustrating.
Yeah. Also, Chris Fisher says, AllShorts, you're enjoying your week off. You're getting antsy with it. I think Marcus is doing lots of other videos. So.
Yeah, as I said, he was doing some videos on his Earth channel, guys. So he's done a couple on there today. If you guys haven't seen them, so as I said, the links are in the description. If you guys haven't checked them out, really nice videos. So
yeah.
Should we jump from one turd to one angry woman? Yes.
Braverman.
Yes, everyone's favourite immigration.
Everyone's favourite auntie.
Of course not. Joella Braverman is to stay in post after Rishi Sunak says the speeding investigation is not necessary. Yes, she is not going anywhere. I think we all kind of knew that anyway, to be fair, but the Prime Minister has been under pressure to take action after claims the Home Secretary asked civil servants to arrange a private one-on-one speed awareness course for her. In his letter to the Home Secretary, the Prime Minister said he had consulted with his independent ethnic advisor, Sir Lauren Magnus, who advised that on this occasion further investigation is not necessary and that he had accepted that advice. Mr. Sunak was under pressure to take action against Mrs. Braverman after the Sunday Times reported she allegedly asked civil servants to arrange a private one-on-one awareness course after she was caught speeding last summer, a move critics said could amount to a breach of the ministerial code. But Mr. Sunak said that after receiving a letter from Mrs. Braverman in which she apologised for causing distraction, my decision is that these matters do not amount to a breach of the ministerial code, even though they do allegedly. However, acknowledging the row that ensures following the reports, he added, as you have recognised, a better course of action would have been to take to avoid giving the rise to the perception of improperty. Mr. Sunak was immediately criticised for his decision. The Liberal Democrats branded it a cowardly cop-out. Sir Keir Starmer took aim at Mrs. Braverman during Prime Minister's questions, accusing her of speeding into the void left by the Prime Minister and of having no plan for skills, growth or wages. No, her big idea for British workers is to become fruit pickers just in case they forget how to do things, he said. And in a dig at the fact that 250,000 work visas have been issued by the government, Sir Keir said, why does he think the Home Secretary has had an issue dealing with points-based system? In exchange of letters with Mr. Sunak, the Home Secretary admitted that if faced with similar situation again, I would have chosen a different course of action. Sure you would. Sure you would. She said that at all times had been truthful and transparent and had taken decisions guided by what I believe was right and appropriate given my office, not by any personal motivation. The Sunday Times reported that instead of signing up for an in-person speed awareness course with other motorists or competing one online that would reveal her identity to other participants, Mrs. Braverman allegedly asked civil servants to arrange a private one-on-one course. When civil servants refused, she reportedly sought help from a political aide who requested for the course organised to provide a private session or allow her to use her alias to turn the camera off. When the course provider refused, Ms. Braverman opted to take 3 points on her licence, the paper reported. Mrs. Braverman said she sought to explore whatever bespoke arrangements where possible due to her personal circumstances and the security she received as a government minister. I recognise that some people have construed this as me seeking to avoid sanction. At no point, that was not the intention or outcome, she said. Nonetheless, given the fundamental importance of integrity in public life, I deeply regret that my actions may have given rise to that of perception, and I apologise for the distraction it has caused. Liberal Democrat Chief Whip Wendy Chamberlain said that with every scandal we see the Prime Minister dither, delay and flip-flop and never take decisive action. This is not the leadership the country needs. During such a severe cost of living crisis, Sunak is too weak to even order an investigation, let alone sack the Home Secretary, she said. Do I need to add any more, really?
No, it's interesting. Yes, Solari the Cat says it emerged at Dobby as in Suella Braverman as interest in Rwanda caching. I think it's something to do with, isn't she? She was part of a charity. She helped set up a charity before she became a minister or a politician in Rwanda, and a lot of the people who she's dealing with are also involved in that same charity, and it's like, is it a conflict of interest in it? I don't know, something a bit fishy about it.
Yeah. Rishi can be a bit fishy, to be fair.
Yeah. But Verticu says normal people in normal democracies resign if they buy Snickers bar with government's visa. Can't take a Visa card like credit card or whatever. Yeah. Further chat right says further investigation is not necessary as it might find something. Yeah, that's true.
Oh no, we can't have them finding out more information. No, that would be on the side of the law, guys. We can't be doing that. We have to keep things under the carpet.
Yeah. David Blase says Go on. Sorry. Go on. What are you going to say, Regan?
I was just going to say, we kind of knew she was going to walk away, and we knew Sunak wouldn't have the spine to sack her. For me, it was either going to be a case of either she was going to stay in the post or she'd be forced to resign. It was going to be one of those two. There was no way she was going to sack because
there's an argument that keep her in the post keeps her away from the from causing trouble on from the back benches with the ERG. Daily Blase says it's a very surreal experience as well. I'm getting riled up by Spraffer and Blabbermouth. The tweeting birds are keeping me calm and chilled.
Yeah, I do like those birds. Yeah, they won't be there every Wednesday, unfortunately.
Yeah, also with Cherry. Yeah, Cherie Blair was involved in this charity. I mean, I think the charity, I can't remember, it's something to do with Rwanda. But yeah, there's quite a few other politicians involved in it. But it seems that the people on the Rwandan side are also involved in her plans to send people over there. Sorry, the cat says chat tax exemption more like probably, yeah.
I'm waiting for Nigel Farage to join the rest of them on the plane to Rwanda, because he did say he was going to leave the country, didn't he?
Yeah.
So so when that first flight to Rwanda comes, we fully expect Nigel Farage to be on board.
Yeah.
So
this is it. Nico DeSmith says Braverman was in a charity educating lawyers in Rwanda who are now mostly in government in Rwanda. So there you go. That's the link. Mad Monk's here. Zhao's here.
Good to see you, Joe. Thanks for all your comments on my videos. I really appreciate it when you get the chance. Appreciate it.
Joe says Suella must have some dirt on some important Tories. Possibly, but I think it is just a case of that. Keep your enemies close. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer.
Just to try and keep some kind of grip on the EIG, pretty much, isn't it?
What a dream! What a blissful dream come true that his Fartage on his way to Rwanda. Says Larry the cat. We can all dream to have the whole bunch out in Rwanda or wherever. Says Pedulous.
Yeah,
true.
Just before we go to the next topic, I was just a quick note. I was down. I thought I'd take a nice little trip down to the Houses Parliament before PMQs, and happened to bump into Steve Bray and a few people out there with the whole stop Brexit stuff. I only chatted with him briefly. Absolutely lovely man, and all the people down there doing some wonderful work, playing some nice funny music as Sunak was in the car on his way to PMQs. I'll post a picture of. I've got one or two pictures when I was down there, but I'll share with you guys on Discord after. But Steve Bray, absolutely lovely man, top guy, he really is.
Okay,
you're in the dark, Lee. You've gone so dark now.
I know. The problem, I just realised that it didn't used to happen, but if I put the light on, I get the strobe effect from the frequency, and it doesn't look great. So I need to sort.
Yeah, guys, when we were setting it up, Lee Corn actually came from heaven.
I was like a ghost because it was daylight, and as it's gone darker outside, I've had to start putting lights on, which is why I keep switching the thing off. So I'm going putting lights on, trying to get it looking better. But so I am in the dark with a few studio lights on, but it's not really doing a job.
Yeah, he's absolutely lovely guy, Sir Larry. He's just a really, he's a really nice guy when I went up to him, So, he's a top man, and all the other, not just him there, but there was lots of other people there. They were really, really, really nice, very kind. All of them down there. I really should. Did you bump into Paul Bristow? I don't think so. No. I didn't even. My biggest regret was not getting a selfie with Steve Bray guy. That was my regret. I shot myself in the foot there. But I was too busy just talking about all sorts with the guys down there. I was talking with all the others rather more than with Steve Bray, to be fair. But
so Larry the cat says Lee might be turning Tory and going over to the dark side.
Don't know about that.
Joe says the dark side is definitely Tory. Just look at the rivers. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
did not
Brown.
need that image.
Okay. Should we move on to the next one then?
Yeah, everyone's favourite topic, Brexit.
Brexit. Don't mention the B word.
The B word. Yeah.
This looks like a
Brexit food
video I
trade
did once.
barriers have cost the UK households 7 billion. Reports find. Did you want to read this one?
Yeah, can do. LSE researchers estimate that extra barriers on EU food imports have pushed up bills by £250 on average. British households have paid £7 billion since Brexit to cover the extra cost of trade barriers on food imports from the EU, according to researchers at the London School of Economics. The university's latest report estimating the impact of leaving the bloc on UK food prices found that trade barriers are consistently hampering imports, pushing up bills by an average £250. The cost of food in the UK had rocketed by 25% since 2019, the researchers calculated, but if the post-Brexit trade restrictions were not in place, and this increase would be only 17%, nearly a third lower. Adding up the impact on all British households suggested they have paid an extra £6.95 billion as a consequence, he said. Between December 2019 and March 2023, food prices rose by almost 25%. This analysis suggests that in the absence of Brexit, this figure will be 8 percentage points, 30% lower, the report found. Last year, the LSE Centre for Economic Performance said that leaving the EU added on average £210 to household food bills over the 2 years to the end of 2021, at a cost of £5.8 billion. The UK has the highest food inflation rate in the industrialised world, according to recent inflation data. In the latest figures from the Office of National Statistics, the Consumer Prices Index measure of inflation fell to 8.7% in April from 10.1% in March, but food inflation on the past year remained elevated at 19%. Brexit trade barriers include extra paperwork to validate goods and veterinary checks on livestock. Nikhil Datta, one of the report's authors, said it was possible food costs would continue to spiral. Not everything has been instituted at the border. For instance, not all veterinary checks are being carried out, he said. It could be there will be no adjustment in prices when they do take effect because businesses have already accounted for the extra costs. All the extra barriers when they come into effect do increase prices, and householders will face a further increase in their food costs. The International Monetary Fund has urged the UK government to lower non-tariff barriers to trade to reduce inflation. In a health check on the UK economy, the Washington-based body said the government should work to bring down inflation generated by trade barriers with its main trade partners after the Windsor Agreement between London and Brussels.
Yeah, we still got the
things aren't going to get easier soon, are they?
Yeah, we've got in October the exports. They're not going to be free flowing. I think it's October when the free flowing is going to stop, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
And that's going to. I'm pretty sure it's in October, unless it's changed. But yeah, it's going to be even harder for food to get in, which is going to discourage even more stuff from abroad coming in. And then, of course, as the IMF telling the government to pull its finger out and do something, we're suffering, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's been lots of stuff about supermarkets perhaps taking advantage of that have been taking advantage of the situation in attempts to make profit. I mean, they are private companies at the end of the day, to be in that regard. But yes, of course, they need to protect. But they should be protecting consumers. They need to be protected. The consumers right now are suffering and need to be looked after because until we have a change in government, there doesn't seem to be a solution in sight. Really, to be fair, Doc Davis says, "Doom."
Doom.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a great video game. I know.
Sly the Cat says, "Well, I'd never." And after Kate Hoey said, "Food prices have nothing to do with Brexit. Can I get a cheese sandwich?"
Oh my God, that woman.
She's
just absolutely like it's like someone who's it's like a beggar. The way she put it, it's like, to me, it's just what came into my head, when I saw this, it was just like, it's like a beggar asking for food and being kicked instead of being given something. Like, that's how you've been kicked down the dirt when you're already struggling enough as it is. It's just disgusting comments from her.
Tom Nelson says the problem with Big Cheese is not used to experiencing consequences. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Fisher, Zhao says people get used to anything, sad but true. There's the thing, these prices, even though inflation's coming down, or food inflation isn't coming down at the moment, but when it does come down, the prices are still going to be higher. They're not going down. They're just going up slower. That's all. So, we've lost.
I'm
Regan.
gonna have to emergency switch.
You okay? Is your camera gone? Right. I'll just read the chat for the time. Oh, you there? Oh, what happened there?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use that one.
Oh, it's juddery as hell. Juddery as hell. Down to about 3 frames a second.
Yeah, the only other hold on. Yeah, talk to the chat for a second. I've got an idea. Just bear with me.
Right, so let me just change that then. So Chris Fisher, the people elect other people to abuse them and do it time after time. Where is the mass intelligence? I think the issue is that first past the post prevents us from voting for or getting a party that represents most of the voters. I think proportional representation would do that, sort that out, or make it more even, I should say, more representative. People accept they have no hope. We haven't got hope who this government in charge. That's for certain. So I think people are realising that with the way they've been voting in the council elections. Vertigo, Zhao says, Vertigo, mon Dieu, an anglais in my cheese. I can see the October deadline being deferred again, says Chatty. Right, yeah, so can I. I can't see them going ahead with it the way things are at the moment. Ginger's Giraffe says, oh, right, okay, sorry, Mad Monk says something. Only fools and horses GB. So Simon says 55. Hi, Simon says 55. Vertigo says Tories really knew how to spin the poo. And I'm back. Crappy Wi-Fi, says Crasper Northerner. Oh, you're back?
I am. I thought I lost internet there because for some reason
you've gone a bit weird.
I went off Discord, which was very scary. Sorry about that, guys.
Zhao says, it seems Brexit is to blame for food inflation in the UK, except in the UK. Ginger Giraffe, really don't. Oh, no, sorry. Spoiling your ballot paper could send a clear message, fix the fault, says Northie. Northie's on a bit of a crusade to spoil the ballot paper. I think I'd rather use my vote for. If there's only 2 options and they're both terrible, then I would spoil my ballot paper. But as there is a half decent option there, then I'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the criticism of Labour. I totally do. Like, there's a lot of criticism towards Labour, and rightly so, guys. But let's be realistic. Like, can we just get rid of the government that is absolutely destroying the whole of the UK right now? Can we just take one step at a time? Like, okay, I understand. Yeah, you're not happy with certain things with Labour. I get that, but they are right. They've been out of power for 13 years. They will do things a hell of a lot better than what we've got. So my advice is, if you're voting tactically to vote out Conservatives, if the option is for Labour, vote Labour. If the option is for another party, then vote for the other party. But if you're in a situation where Labour needs your vote, you cast it towards Labour, because nothing is. We need to get rid of this. We need to get rid of this Conservative government. We really need to, guys. Yes, of course, we will hold a Labour government to account, and rightly so. But let's get rid of this government first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, that's the best way to approach this.
Okay, right. Should we move on to the next one then?
Yeah.
Anything is better than the Tories, my dear Brits. Even Labour, says Zhao. Yes. AllShorts says that it's tactical voting.
Tactical voting. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to Ukraine, guys. So I'm not going to read too much into it, but obviously there's been the Russia and Ukraine have been trading places in the battle for Bakhmut. So I've done some videos over the past week or so about it. Russia claiming they've captured Bakhmut. Ukrainian officials have claimed that they haven't completely captured it, or that they boost positions. So it's really kind of like, it's not 100%, but it's I would say you could probably say about 90-95% of the city is under Russian control, to be fair. But what's happened in the 65th week of Russia's war in Ukraine? Russia's Wagner Group claims to have captured Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine with sweep, but the government in Kiev says it intends to recapture the ruined city after surrounding it. We continue to advance on the flanks on the suburbs of Bakhmut and are actually approaching the capture of the city in a tactical encirclement. Overall Ground Forces Commander Oskar Zarzinski said as Ukrainian forces added they have recaptured 4 square kilometers, that's 1.5 square miles of territory. The battle for Bakhmut has been increasingly been the vocal point of the war and is now its 65th week. As Russian President Putin prioritizes catching the region of Donetsk, in which the city with a pre-war population of 70,000 is situated, and neighboring Luchansk. Ukraine said it has used attritional street warfare in Bakhmut to draw Russian forces from other parts of the front to inflict high casualties over the past 2 weeks. Its forces have also launched a number of flanking operations around the city to reclaim land. Ukrainian counterattacks near Bakhmut have noticeably likely eliminated the threat of a Russian encirclement of Ukrainian forces in Bakhmut and forced Russian troops to alternate scarce military resources to defend against a limited and localized offensive effort, as Ukraine commands likely intended. The Washington-based Institute of Study of War have said on Friday. So Russia have claimed to have fully captured Ukraine's Bakhmut, with Vladimir Putin gaining his routes, and the mercenary Wagner group have taken the largely leveled eastern Ukraine. So you can see there, according to this. So this is from sources from the Institute of the Study of War. Their update is they say Ukraine claim counteroffensive. So yeah.
If I show you, this is the deep state map which you've looked at before.
Yeah.
So this is on the 5th.
Oh,
sorry. There's Bakhmut there. And going forward, you see the Russians are on the red on the right, on the eastern side. As we move forward, you can see these blue parts. These are parts where they've been recaptured by Ukrainians. You see a big chunk taken, pushed back there. The parts in between are the parts that are under no overall control. Is where the battles are happening. So you can see there's more and more parts being eaten away into this. So even though Bakhmut, the town centre, the city centre, has been mostly taken over by the Russians, there's a bit of pushing back again, but from the Russians, from the Wagner Group. But you can see that the surrounding areas have the Ukrainians have taken over a fair bit of taken back quite a bit of land on that.
Yeah, taking a quite chunk there, just below. What's that?
Ivanivska.
Yeah,
Ivanivska. Yeah, they're taking quite a bit south of there.
Are they gonna? I mean, obviously, we're just speculating here, but our assumption is they're gonna. Are they going to push for Bakhmut, or are they going to try and surround it?
I think that was part of the plan, was to surround the Wagner forces inside Bakhmut. The 72nd was the one that they abandoned. They got pushed back. I reckon about 2/3 of their forces got pushed back. That's the main Wagner group. And then there's the Wagner Anthill. But the rest are regular forces, regular Russian forces.
Giles says this is called cornering the wolf. You draw the wolf in enough, and it will have difficulties leaving the trap, and then you kill it. Funny Russians would not know of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a Russian tactic historically to surround the enemy and trap them in a tight noose, really. But
they said the head of the Wagner group said they captured Bakhmut. Just seeing if there's anything more to add. I mean, they haven't officially. I mean, so the counterattacks. Is it fair to say the counterattack has started, but they just haven't said it, basically?
Well, I think there's parts of it are just there. It's to push back on Bakhmut and basically almost surround the Wagner group. I mean, they're still threatening to pull out the Wagner Group from that area, so we'll see.
Russia's leadership likely continue to see capturing Bakhmut as a key immediate war aim, which would allow them to claim some degree of success in the conflicts, British intelligence and analysts say. Yeah, so Putin could say, look, I've made progress.
Yeah.
See?
Where was that? I didn't see where that was.
Just a bit, it's way further down.
Way further down, right. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, any major developments, I'll try and post shorts or cover it on my channel whenever possible. I did have a story about a Russian spy being captured by Ukrainian intelligence services as well, which was quite interesting as well.
Okay,
but I think we'll lighten the mood, as a certain YouTuber would say.
We've got this news clip here.
Welcome to Broken News. Oh gosh, would you mind awfully, I'm so sorry, are the findings from new wide-ranging research into British behaviour. The paper, released today by the Institute for British Studies, also claims, I know you're busy and no worries at all if not. No, it's fine, honestly, sorry about that. Our reporter has more.
Oh golly, I'm so sorry. Feeling absolutely dreadful about this are the controversial findings from this report issued earlier today. But for some, it went further than expected. No, it's absolutely fine, really it is, and I don't mean to cause a faff. Would you like a cup of tea, or can I get you anything at all? The team behind this extensive piece of research have released a statement in which they say, oh dearie me, apologies for not getting back to you sooner. I hope you don't mind me getting in touch. Would it be terrible if, and I feel awful saying this, but is there a world in which I do apologise again? Terribly sorry. Back to you.
Well, that's all from Broken News. Thanks in advance, and sorry to have been a pain.
Oh dear.
Very funny.
Well, there you go, guys. A bunch of guys that are saying sorry, but not saying sorry, technically. Larry and Paul every Thursday.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen them, Lee Corn is always there whenever they go live.
Yeah, they're not on this week or next week, which is like I think they're on holiday or something. So they're so inconsistent when they're on do the show, but good when they do the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Where are we going next?
We're going to this story.
Oh yeah. Do you want to just play the video and let them listen?
An extraordinary medical development that could change the lives of people living with spinal cord injuries. Scientists in Geneva have pioneered new technology which allows wireless communication between the brain and the spinal cord, allowing paralysed patients to walk again. Well, this is Gert Jan Oskam, who has been paralysed for 12 years after he broke his neck in a cycling accident. Implants the size of SIM cards were placed in his brain over the areas that control movement, one side for the left leg, the other for the right. A computer powered with artificial intelligence then interpreted his brain signals and sent an instruction wirelessly to a second device that was implanted in his lower back, bridging the damage to the spinal cord. Electrical impulses were then sent to coordinate his leg muscles, allowing him to walk.
Came into the hospital in the Netherlands for the first time after I broke my neck. I was hoping they will offer me a system like this, but there was nothing. So I was a bit disappointed when I arrived in the Netherlands and they told me, you will never walk again anymore. We can't help you. And I think with this system, I can only wish it was happening to me 12 years ago, but I'm still pleased that I have it now.
Well, this is quite simply extraordinary. I mean, you know, you use that word a lot, but this is a case where it's totally justified. This is our science and medical correspondent, Thomas Moore, to tell us more about it. We see him walking there through essentially SIM cards in his brain and is connected to his spine.
It's just wow, isn't it? I mean, he has a severe injury to his spinal cord in his neck after a really nasty cycling accident more than 10 years ago. But now they've managed to bridge that damage. They've reconnected his brain to his muscles and allowed him to walk again, to take a step again, to climb stairs. And it is quite extraordinary to watch the video. Yes, his walking is not fluid. It is hesitant and it's slow, and he drags his feet. But imagine the transformation for someone who is in a wheelchair because of paralysis, who can't even stand and look somebody directly in the eyes at their level, and he can do all that now. He can stand at the bar with his mates and have a beer and look them in the eye, and he says for that, it's a psychological and a physical thing. And it is because of this extraordinary technology that they have been able to decode that jumble of brain signals from the part of the brain that controls muscles but can't get through the spinal cord at the moment. And then with artificial intelligence, turn that into electronic signals that wirelessly go back into the spinal cord and coordinate the very complex muscle movement that leads to walking. Quite extraordinary. And the doctors have been working on it in Lausanne, in Switzerland, believe that this is a transformation for people living with paralysis. And I spoke to them earlier today.
Yeah, we believe this is a real breakthrough here. It's not controlling robots. It's really reconnecting two regions of the central nervous system that are disconnected. This is like the true digital revolution in terms of prosthetics.
It's a completely new dogma that is starting with, of course, a proof of principle, only one patient, but it shows us that it's not science fiction anymore, and that a new era for these people and new hope can be given to people with a spinal cord injury.
Well, it could quite literally change the lives of, hundreds of thousands of people who are affected by similar injuries. But at what stage are we at with this, Thomas, in terms of, is this just the initial stages? When can, people at home affected perhaps get involved in this?
Yeah, just on the numbers, 50,000 people in the UK alone living with spinal injuries, and that goes up by 2,500 a year. Wrap that up worldwide, and it's a lot of people, as you say. And they're optimistic that it could even be used for people who are paralysed through stroke. And that's a whole new category with many thousand more. So they are trying to roll this out, but you can imagine this is going to be expensive technology. And there is some disquiet amongst people who are disabled from spinal cord injuries, that it'd be better to spend money on helping them adapt to life as they know it, rather than reinventing the technology to allow them something which is difficult to regain. They've already made the adjustment to a wheelchair, better to help them to live well in that chair. So it's controversial, but nevertheless, take nothing away from the extraordinary stride taken through this technology.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, that's an interesting angle, actually. Like you said, some people have been living with the injury for so long, they don't want the change. I mean, a lot will come with that in terms of, adapting to walk again. In that sense, what happens next, Thomas? Where does it go from here?
So they hope that this is just going to develop. They believe that they can improve the implants, the artificial intelligence will get better at decoding brain signals, and the hope will be that you will get that fluid motion that most of us don't even think about when we walk. But for him, Gert Jan, he's having to think about every movement, left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg, and it's very deliberate, and it's not subconscious in the way that we would see it. And that is the challenge, to help people really adapt to life back on their 2 feet once again.
Yeah, Thomas, remarkable stuff. We'll be talking about it throughout the course of...
Absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, there's a long way to go, like you say there.
The programme this afternoon. Thank you.
I mean, I'm guessing that's just like a one-way where you control the muscles from your brain, but then your spinal cord also carries nerves, so the actual feeling of having you feeling from your feet, things like that, and passing that back to the brain. There's so much more that needs to be done in certainly if you really wanted to, if you really go down that route. But yeah, I mean, it is amazing.
I was just going to say, like, I know obviously it's still, there's still obviously more work to be done in that, but to see him walk just gives people hope, gives people optimism. And I've I'm glad we played the whole video as well, because to really for people to kind of in the chat to as best understand it as possibly can.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is still a lot to be done, but it's great optimism. And yeah, this video dropped. The story dropped today from Sky News. So I did have another one ready, but this one I thought would be more human to actually just see it from see the video and hear them talk about it. I think it was really really good. What's the chat saying about it, Lee?
Number 3 says natural learning mechanism is very simple, as required by the minimal energy expenditure rule of evolution physics. Just memorizing via association and forming mental maps on the fly. Yeah, you see, there's people who do these prosthetics where people have had limbs removed or born without limbs, and they're able to trigger movement of fingers and things like that just by moving certain muscles. And once you've learned how to do that, it becomes second nature to them after a while. But obviously, it's learning how to do that. And the same with this. You know, it'd be learning the case of what it becomes. Even though you said there, it's not. You don't do anything subconscious like people who can walk. Just becomes natural. Obviously, as a baby, you're learning those movements to move your arms and move forward and move your feet and things like that. Once you've learnt it, then it just becomes natural. It becomes subconscious. You don't have to think about every single muscle movement that you have to do. So, yeah, that will come if you with practice.
Chris says, "I thought a stroke was a brain injury. How can a spinal division fix a stroke?"
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the same sort of thing. If you can trigger things in your brain that then triggers the movement in your legs, then you could possibly retrain your brain to move your feet that way, or your hands or whatever.
Giles says, "I'm sorry for being over logic, but we are basically complex machines whose parts are replaced by synthetic ones." I think as time goes on, we'll probably be going down that kind of road, to be fair. Number 3 says, "Literally retracting your steps may help you remember where they are. Retracted the steps and put the cross in the right box," says Giles.
Also, that's because AllShorts says, "Can you record your movements so you could retrace your steps, find those keys?" Yeah, I think Wednesdays are RPGs. Okay. I've been watching mind-blowing UFO stuff via the Unidentified channel. Okay, number 3. Yeah, lots of stuff about losing keys. Content says, "Relearning will be very hard work, but it will be another chance, and every chance counts." Yeah.
Yeah, so we're more concerned about pressing the reverse button on it and to find where you put
keys.
But still, absolutely fantastic. So really happy for the guy, and hopefully we'll see more people able to overcome this. Now we got the
wait. No, we're going. No. The one next.
We're
going to do this one first.
You'll see the flying sofa soon, guys. It's coming. It's coming.
The sofa.
The flying
this national conservatism.
Sorry, Regan. I played that over the top of you. Start again.
Don't worry.
Have you seen this national conservatism conference that's just finished? Last time I saw that many bellends in one place, I'd gone dogging by mistake. Darren Grimes, David Starkey, Suella Braverman, Toby Young, Lee Anderson, Fred West, the Eye of Sauron. Douglas Murray, who said that no country was allowed to feel national pride just because the Germans had mucked up a couple of times in the 20th century. Mucked up? Yeah, those 2 world wars were just a teeny tiny mistake, weren't they? Ah, do you remember that time you put diesel in the unleaded by accident and then we invaded Poland? Could have happened to anyone. This national conservatism movement is just one of many splinter groups that was swallowed up by the Tories over the last decade and are now being spat out again. You've got NatCon, then the Conservative Democrat Organisation. How about Diet UKIP? Or I can't believe it's not fascist. These groups are anti-gay, anti-woke, anti-immigration, anti-equality. They stand for nothing except Britain, yet they seem to hate everything about it. They say you can't feel pride in your country anymore, but that's simply not true, because I am incredibly proud to be British. I'm proud of our attitudes, I'm proud of our multiculturalism, and I'm proud that almost everyone in the country thinks you are a gang of absolute blades.
Well said, Sam.
Yeah.
Good. Love the can't believe it's not a fact. That's one. That's got to be a butter that I will not be spreading on my toast.
It goes going back to Mary Whitehouse experience. You've probably never seen, but there's a thing about talking about that, and it was just to paraphrase it, bollocks. This is Nazi, and I'll deck anyone who says it isn't. If anybody gets the reference, Mary Whitehouse experience. There you go. Sorry. Right.
I asked Steve Bray. Actually, I said, "Did you have fun at the Nazi conference?" And he said, "Oh my god." He said they hated me there.
Yeah, Celebrity Cat says, "I can't believe it's not fascist." I'm laughing. It says the English, even with their mental ego, could in no way do what the Germans did in the 1930s. They have their dreams, but it's just dreams. Yeah, we have to be careful. There are some people, with very bizarre ideas in this country. Pedro says, number 3, reality being the world as we would understand it, e.g. a robot can pull a string to pull something that it does not know that it can push. Cannot push the same string to push the object. Okay. From Ash Get King Edwards. Hi Hugh, hope you're doing well.
Yeah, good to see you, Hugh.
Many nasty cons, yes. Right, it's the moment everybody's been waiting for.
Fascist. Yes, it's the video everyone has been waiting for. That's the real reason why you guys are here, not for the show, but to see the flying sofa. This happened in Turkey. As I said before Lee plays it, nobody was injured, nobody died. But yeah, extraordinary moment.
Okay, let's play it. Should we go? Ready? I haven't seen this. What's the sound?
Oha bak uçuyor bir tane daha bak koltuk uçuyor. Buraya geliyor geldi yan binaya girdi.
Oh jeez.
Abi ya.
How high is that flown out that window?
Bak koltuk uçuyor.
God.
Buraya geliyor geldi yan binaya girdi.
Oof. That's an IFO.
Yep. It was very, very windy that day, you can imagine, guys. But my God.
Floating.
Yeah. Incredible. It's quite incredible when you catch something like that on camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody was hurt, nobody was injured, there was nothing like that. Obviously, it was an incredibly windy day, but yeah, pretty crazy. So you want to read a little bit into it?
I just is in Ankara, off a 34 or 5-story building.
Yeah.
Crashed into a number of other buildings before landing in a garden. No one's hurt, but we were pretty scared. By at least one person was injured so far, but after winds reached 45 kilometers an hour, blew roofs and windows off of buildings, uprooted trees, and sent debris flying. Yeah.
Bertie says, imagine having a hangover.
Imagine someone explaining death by sofa. Imagine if you sat on it and all of a sudden you just get blown away.
That's exactly what I was thinking when Bertie said that. I was just like, if they like knocked out on the sofa and they'd be flying in the air. Oh God! Oh no, Jal just said it.
Is it a modern day flying carpet? That's what I want to know. Is this the replacement of a flying carpet as a sofa, flying sofa? Imagine having a hangover.
Chris Fisher says that's the telephone booth, Faye, Doctor Who.
It looks like it's got the door open there. It looks like the phone booth, the police box with the door open. Harry Potter has denied all knowledge. Yeah,
it didn't land on Johnson's head. I'm gutted. Harry Potter has denied all knowledge, says Sir Larry.
Right. And that's it. There's your flying sofa.
Yeah, so you got it, guys. You got the flying sofa. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's just a plug-in time, is this, Lee? Oh.
Yeah, well, just before, so Hugh says, have you discussed the Cardiff riots yet? They went to Ape in Ely. It's one of them areas, got a bit of a reputation. Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw some pictures of the kids. It's like 2 kids, and I don't know if it's a really old picture, they look very young, but apparently like 15 to 16, riding bikes around. We have a similar problem where I live.
I've read a little bit of the story. It was today, wasn't it? Or
it was a couple of days ago.
Police officers chased them, didn't they, or something?
Initially the police said they weren't, but this is why it was kicking off in the area, because they said the police had basically chased them. And there's accusations that the police have been trying to knock them off the bike as they've been riding around.
Right.
So,
the law is not clear on e-scooters. You know, I've done a video about e-scooters on my channel, and obviously the logistics is basically like they need to sort it out and just put them in the same category as bikes. You know, just do it. Like what's the hold up?
Something, yeah. They can't decide what categories to put them in. How to deal with
it. It's not fair on the police. It's not fair on the public because the police don't know what. You know, because at the moment the police are just being told. Well, I don't even think the police know what they're meant to do. To be fair, it's just it's ridiculous. You know, they need to get the laws sorted. There's no reason to be faffing about with it, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, should we do the plug tune the electric bike?
Yes. So guys, just before we go, we do have one more funny video for you guys before we end the show. So just want to say a massive thank you guys for everybody who's come along in the chat today. We would greatly appreciate if you can, before you go on your way out. Have you clicked that like button? It really does help the channel. If you guys can also share it across social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you guys can do, be greatly appreciated. Would really help. It would really help us out. Also, guys, we'll be in the Discord server, the Snowflake server, which is our own Discord server, which is completely free for you guys to join. I'll just ask either Petulous or Context, if you guys are there, just to put a link into or if Lee can do that quickly while I'm plugging everything. One of you guys to just put the link. I think I put the link in the description. No, I did not. Shame on me. But yeah, it's completely free to join. You can join us in the after chat and just have a chat. We'll just talk about whatever you guys want to chat about there. We also got all the new news, world news, UK news, any news pretty much. And we also have games nights we do on Saturday nights. We do the odd movie nights. I actually got a movie night tomorrow night. I haven't decided what film, but I'm definitely going to do one because I didn't do one 2 weeks ago. So I'm definitely going to do a movie night tomorrow night. I'm definitely going to do that this time around. And we got music night coming up at the start of June as well, so that's going to be lots of fun. So if you guys want to join us on there, it's completely free. Lots of other bits going on the server as well. Also, guys, if you're not aware, I've got my own YouTube channel. So if you guys, I'm just gonna do a little. I'm just gonna put that right there, in there for you guys as well. Yeah, I cover basically a bit more news orientated rather than political. I drop lots of shorts, not just UK news, but stuff that's going on in the world. Obviously, things that obviously I've talked about the conflict in Ukraine, what's happened with Sudan, another terrible story over in America, a terrible story in America, which I've dropped a video on as well. And I also do a live stream every Monday. I've decided to do one every Monday called a Snowflake's Viewpoint, which you guys can come and hang out there with me as well. Lee can't, unfortunately, he's never able to be there on Monday evening just to hang out in the chat. But you guys can still come and hang out if you haven't got anything else going on a Monday evening. And of course, then you can chat with me and in the after chat after the show as well there.
That was a sliding there.
Yeah, well, you're not there.
You know what? I don't get a notification, so I never know it's on.
You don't get a notification. Oh dear.
I didn't know you were doing it every Monday, so that's news.
I have decided to do them every Monday, because people have asked me to do more live streams. So I am going to do one every Monday, but I am going to try and. But we also have some other news as well, Lee, haven't we, with regards to next week's show?
Next week, yeah. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know if I'm going to be here. Well, I'm going to be in France next week, basically. So
yeah. So Lee is not going to be here next week. So either two things are going to happen.
I might be. It depends. I might be available, but I haven't got. Obviously, you'd have to do all the stream stuff. So, but
yeah. So. I just would, because just for you guys, just to be aware. So I can do it on the channel, but obviously it won't be with all the animations and stuff that Lee Korn does. It'll be a little bit different, but we can still, in theory, do the show. So if I don't know, Lee, if you're able to come on Discord for the evening, and then I can just. I don't know how to do it through Discord like you can, but
we could We can have a look. Let's discuss the options, and we'll
yeah.
But
we can definitely do something. I mean, if for whatever reason we can't sort it out, I will still, because I do have access to that channel, guys. So I can do. We will have a show of some sorts next week. That is for sure. But the following week we'll be back in full force as well. So yeah, just a snippet last week. Full show today. A little bit of a, we'll see next week, but obviously, and of course, hopefully, cross fingers, next week AllShorts will be back in full force as well next week from Monday. So we're looking forward to seeing you back on the live streams as well, my friends. So yeah, we should try to get AllShorts on the show, shouldn't we, Lee?
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we get our friend back on there. Yeah, guys, his links are in description as well, to check out his stuff as well. I think that's everything. I've covered everything, I think, this time around, Lee.
Yeah. The like. Yeah, we covered everything. Yeah.
Yep. Just have a final look in the chat. There's a sofa flying in, and oh yeah, he was just telling Duke what happened. Everyone's saying good night.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pedulous, for moderating as well. Appreciate it, mate. We really do.
Context.
And for the links you're putting in as well.
Kendra says, great show, guys, as always. Thanks, Kendra. Says, good night, everyone. Hit the like. Yes, that's true. Hit the like. Thank you.
But don't run away just yet. We got one more video for you guys. Got one more video. So.
I'm on the naughty step, says AllShorts. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's. We've got another news clip here, so we'll have a look at this. We'll see. I'll see you in the Discord server afterwards, or we'll see you. Well, Reagan will see you next week. I might see you next week. I don't know. We'll see. Right.
Yeah.
Good night,
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Welcome to Broken News. World leaders have reacted with shock after it was finally revealed that whoever smelt it, dealt it. In one of the world's longest-running disputes, it had been thought that whoever said the rhyme committed the crime, but this has now been overturned by the International Court of Justice. Our reporter has more.
It sent shockwaves throughout the Western world, and this landmark ruling upends decades of received wisdom. For years, it's been assumed that the one who said the verse made the atmosphere worse. Whoever articulated it, particulated it, and whoever spoke the words is baking turds. But as of now, that's no longer the case, as the ICJ has confirmed that the first to observe it did in fact serve it. President Biden says it closes the door on any suggestion that whoever denied it supplied it. French leader Emmanuel Macron said it had become clear that whoever declared it blared it, and whoever detected it ejected it. And in a statement from the Vatican, Pope Francis said that there can now be no doubt that whoever sniffed it, biffed it. Back to you.
Well, the International Court of Justice has said that having completed its work on one of the world's most difficult and enduring cases, it will now move on to a simpler problem, the Israel-Palestine conflict. That's all from us. You're up to date.
Good news.
Good night.
Good night.